Hey guys, history behind the warrior, and we're going to continue our catch up on the Mortal Kombat story. Now where we left off, Raiden was killed by Shao Kahn, and Raiden had sent a message to his past self in order to prevent Armageddon, with this timeline's Raiden's last words only being he must win. Unfortunately, due to how vague this message is, it does alter the timeline, leading to the death of many old characters and the birth of many new characters. There are a few changes with this timeline from the get-go, such as the involvement of certain characters like Baraka, who is actually seen and participates in the first Mortal Kombat tournament, whereas in the original he does appear in the third game. The tournament begins with a rather cocky Johnny Cage just turning up at the tournament and having no idea what this is really about. He defeats Reptile and Baraka, but is really confused as Shang Tsung has told him to kill someone. The actor is confused, considering this to be more like hardcore cosplay with people fighting against each other, and refuses to do so. After his battle, he is approached by Raiden and Liu Kang, who tell him of the situation. Johnny thinks that they're both crazy, getting into character a bit too much. He leaves the conversation to pursue after Sonya Blade. Johnny Cage finds Sonya and continues to hit on her, eventually aggravating her and leading her to hit him. A fight would break out between the two, with Johnny defeating Sonya. After doing so, he does feel bad, and attempts to apologize to her, but is thrown off the bridge by Kano. Kano begins taunting Sonya, until Johnny Cage climbs back up on the bridge, and faces the arms dealer. After defeating Kano, he is told by Sonya the truth, that this is all real. After learning of this, Johnny goes to find Raiden, while Sonya Blade looks for her superior, Jackson Briggs. She is able to find Jax in the dungeons, but he is badly wounded. She is found in the lair by Shang Tsung, and this leads to her fighting Sub-Zero and Raiden. Raiden loses on purpose, and creates a massive flashbang in order to blind Shang Tsung, allowing Sonya and Jax to escape. The two manage to escape to the courtyard, with a helicopter arriving to save them. It is however shot down. After a brief battle with Kano, Sonya Blade demands that Shang Tsung heal Jax's wounds. Shang Tsung laughs at Sonya Blade and walks away. Luckily, Raiden and Johnny Cage arrive and heal Jax. As the tournament progresses, Cyrax walks out on the Lin Kuei. Raiden attempts to reason with Scorpion in order to not have Sub-Zero killed, but it still happens anyway, and Liu Kang is able to defeat Goro and Shang Tsung. Now, much like the original timeline, Shang Tsung returns to Shao Kahn and is nearly killed until he proposes a new tournament in Outworld. Shao Kahn agrees to this, and this leads to Shang Tsung being rejuvenated. The rejuvenated Shang Tsung meets Raiden and offers him the new tournament, but the Thunder God is not interested until Shang Tsung opens up a portal from Outworld to the Wuxi Academy, with the Tarkatan hordes attacking and killing many of the Shaolin. After the brief attack, Sonya Blade is taken hostage, and this leads to Raiden being forced to accept the second tournament. Luckily, during the very beginning of the second tournament, Jax is able to save Sonya, and later during the second tournament, Smoke is nearly forcibly automated into a cyborg by the Lin Kuei, but is saved by Raiden. This actually alters the timeline, as Smoke is supposed to be automated into a robot. Unfortunately, this now falls to Sub-Zero, who actually does become automated after defeating Scorpion, his brother's killer. After Sub-Zero's automation, Shao Kahn is angered at Kitana, as she was given the orders to prevent any outside interference like the Lin Kuei to interfere in the tournament. After being told off by Shao Kahn, who she still believes is her father, she travels to the outskirts of Outworld in order to gain some clairvoyance. Whilst in the outskirts, she does come across some Earthrealmers and defeats them. After doing so, she is talked to by Raiden, telling her that she is in conflict with herself, and in order to gain some answers, she should travel to Shang Tsung's flesh pits. When she arrives there, she sees many failed clones of herself, and one successful one being called Melina. She is disgusted by the monstrosity, and nearly kills Melina until Shang Tsung appears. After defeating the sorcerer, she takes him before Shao Kahn, and Shao Kahn praises him, and reveals the truth to Kitana that he is in fact not her father. This would lead to Kitana being sent to the Colosseum, set for her execution. Jade would overhear this, and travel and meet with Raiden and the other Earthrealmers. Kung Lao and Liu Kang were then sent to save Kitana. They originally travelled to the Black Tower, only to learn that she was at the Colosseum. When they arrived there, Liu Kang pursues after Kitana, whilst Kung Lao participates in the tournament and tries to win for Earthrealm. Unlike the original timeline, Kung Lao was actually killed by Shao Kahn. This would lead to Liu Kang fighting Shao Kahn, and in fact killing the Emperor. With the aid of Quan Chi, Shao Kahn was able to heal his wounds a lot faster than expected, and this would later lead to the Earthrealm invasion story arc. During the invasion, Kabal would be badly burned whilst he is still an officer, and Stryker would be recruited by the Earthrealmers. Again, much unlike the original timeline, Johnny Cage is not killed, as Motaro is killed by Raiden, further altering the timeline. The badly burnt Kabal was then reconstructed by Kano and Shang Tsung. After learning that Kano is one of the people responsible for the Earthrealm invasion, he takes him hostage. Whilst attempting to escape, he bears witness to Shang Tsung's life force being sacrificed and given to Sindel. When returning back to Earthrealm, he battles Cyber Sub-Zero. After defeating him, he is approached by the Earthrealmers and takes Cyber Sub-Zero back with them. They then alter Cyber Sub-Zero's wiring, allowing him to have free consciousness, and then he realizes all of the bad that he has done as a robot. To redeem his sins, he alongside Nightwolf then travel to Earthrealm in order to prevent a Soulnado. During this time, Sub-Zero is forced to fight his older brother, now the undead revenant Noob Saibot. After defeating his brother, he realizes that he's too late to stop the Soulnado. This forces him to flee, and Nightwolf then takes on Noob Saibot and manages to kick him into the Soulnado, causing a massive eruption, destroying it. When he returns to see the Earthrealmers, Liu Kang and Raiden must depart to talk to the Elder Gods. During their departure, they are ambushed by the Lin Kuei, and later Sindel, who manages to kill many of the Earthrealm warriors. Nightwolf in turn is forced to sacrifice his own life to eradicate Sindel, leaving only Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade as the survivors of the attack. When Raiden and Liu Kang return, they find that many of them are dead. Liu Kang rushes to Kitana's side, only to see her die. Raiden then proposes the idea of travelling to the Netherrealm and striking a deal with Quan Chi. Liu Kang believes that the Thunder God has gone mad and just tells him to go. In the Netherrealm, Raiden learns from Quan Chi that he should have just allowed Shao Kahn to merge the realms, because by doing so he's breaking the rules of Mortal Kombat. When he returns back to Earthrealm, he finds the point of where Outworld and Earthrealm are merging together, and Shao Kahn slowly passing through it. Liu Kang is also there and wishes to kill Shao Kahn, but Raiden prevents him from doing so, and this angers him. This later leads to a fight in which Raiden inadvertently kills Liu Kang. Sonya Blade and Johnny Cage are there to witness it, and can't believe that an accident like this would happen. However, they cannot mourn his death, as Shao Kahn has managed to pass through Outworld into Earthrealm now. Shao Kahn knocks aside Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade, and then beats Raiden to a pulp. It is only until the Elder Gods intervene and give Raiden power in order to defeat Shao Kahn. After Shao Kahn is defeated, he is taken away by the Elder Gods for many years of torture, although it is considered by many that he may also be dead. Raiden is helped to his feet by Sonya Blade and Johnny Cage as they attempt to rebuild the world around them. After the Earthrealmers depart, it is revealed that Shinok has planned this all along alongside Quan Chi. During the invasion, Shinok has his heart set on corrupting the Jinsei, the life force of Earthrealm. By doing so, he would acquire great power. During the invasion, we see many of the Revenant versions of the Earthrealm warriors that were actually killed during the MK9 section of the game. As Shinok pushes his way to the Jinsei chamber, he is defeated by Johnny Cage, who uses his green energy in order to defeat him. After defeating Shinok, Johnny would learn from Raiden that his powers come from his ancestry of a Mediterranean war cult. It is speculated that it was triggered due to whenever he sees a loved one nearly die. Shinok is then once again trapped within his amulet. Shinnok's amulet is then put in a safe location where it cannot be found again. After the attack, Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade would begin seeing each other. During this time as well, Johnny Cage would nearly be killed due to him being stabbed in the back by a Revenant Jax when they attempt to invade Quan Chi's fortress. Luckily, he is saved by Raiden, who is able to heal his wounds and prevent him from turning into a Revenant by destroying a flesh pit. Luckily, when he destroyed the flesh pit, this would sever the ties of many Revenant humans, allowing Jax, Scorpion and Sub-Zero to now be free of Quan Chi's manipulation. Quan Chi would also be injured very badly during this fight, and this would later affect him, as he's not as strong as he used to be. Now we're going to jump straight to the Mortal Kombat X story properly, as I'm going to leave out the comic books to cover next year. Now from this point onwards, there's a massive time gap of roughly 20 years if not more. During this time, many of the characters from Mortal Kombat 9 have had children, and they are recruited into a team created by Johnny Cage. The team is made up of Takeda Takahashi, son of Kenshi, Cassie Cage, daughter of Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade, Jackie Briggs, daughter of Jackson Briggs, and Kong Jin, cousin of Kung Lao. The team is still freshly new to the idea of being together and fighting together as a tight unit, as this is seen in the Sub-Zero chapter of the game, where they attempt to confront the Grandmaster. The group is quickly defeated, in which they learn afterwards that it was all a training exercise orchestrated by Johnny Cage. During this time, there's also a civil war in Outworld between Kotal Khan's forces and Melina's forces. The two are fighting over control of the throne, with Kotal now in control of it. Kotal was nearly assassinated due to him being on the throne, and Kano being pretty much a scumbag that does anything for money. During the ambush, Melina's forces are defeated, and she's left alone and is nearly killed until she brings out Shinnok's amulet. Before she can get taken away, she is teleported by Rain. Cassie's team learns of this, and they travel to Outworld to make a deal with Kotal Khan. Whilst they are walking around Outworld, they see a petty thief to be executed. Kung Jin intervenes with this, and a massive fight breaks out. After the fight is finished, Kotal Khan would appear and set all of the Earthrealmers to be executed. Kung Jin challenged Kotal Khan to trial by combat. If he is able to defeat him, he is allowed to kill Kotal and they are set free. After Kotal was defeated, he asks Kung Jin to quickly kill him. Instead, Kung Jin puts out a hand and says that they should be working together in order to find out the whereabouts of Melina and Shinnok's amulet. We later learn that Kano was responsible for stealing Shinnok's amulet and handing it over to Melina, with Rain being the mastermind behind it. Sonya Blade learns from Kano the whereabouts of the amulet. Cassie Cage and Devora are then set with the task of capturing it. When they are at Melina's campsite, they are able to defeat Tanya and Rain, Rain revealing that he wanted the amulet so he could kill both sides and then be the heir to the throne. After Melina is defeated, the ownership of the amulet goes on to Kotal Khan. Melina is then killed by Devora. Cassie Cage's team is then imprisoned by Kotal. This is because Kotal wants ownership of the amulet in order to prevent it from slipping into anyone else's hands. Later on, during the transportation of the amulet, Devora kills 2 Outworld soldiers and proclaims that she is actually a secret agent of Shinok. During Cassie's team's capture on a boat, Takeda is able to get into the head of one of the guards. Luckily, due to his telekinesis, he is able to knock out the guard and free his team. During their escape, they are confronted by Eren Black, Ermac and Reptile. Luckily, they are able to defeat the trio. Cassie's team would arrive at Melina's campsite and learn that the amulet has been taken. During this time, Jackson Briggs is in hot pursuit of Quan Chi. We learn from Quan Chi that he's travelling to his old fortress in order to rendezvous with Devora. This is because he wishes to release Shinnok from his amulet as soon as possible. Quan Chi is captured by Jax and is taken back to Earthrealm so he can be interrogated by the Special Forces. The Special Forces are ambushed by the Shiraryu, as Scorpion, the leader, has his heart set on killing Quan Chi, as many years before he learned from Sub-Zero that Quan Chi was responsible for killing his family and his clan. Hanzo is successful in killing Quan Chi, but not before he can release Shinnok from his amulet. Shinnok and his revenants then travel to the Sky Temple, defeat Raiden and take both Raiden and Johnny Cage hostage. Cassie's team is currently on a rescue mission, traveling to the Sky Temple in hopes of stopping Shinok. On their journey, they are confronted by Outworld forces. This is due to Kotal Khan believing that Devora has actually been working with the Earthrealmers all along. They surround them and nearly kill them, until the Lin Kuei interfere, attacking outworld forces. This allows Cassie's team to travel to the Sky Temple. When they arrive, they realize it is guarded by many of the Revenants. It's only until the group split up when they spring a surprise attack. Jackie and Takeda are badly injured during this battle. Despite their injuries, the two decide to stay back and fight off any of the Revenants at the doors in order to allow Kung Jin and Cassie to defeat Shinok. During the confrontation in the Jinsei chamber, she sees her dad get attacked. She's angered and scared to see this, and this triggers her Mediterranean powers to kick in. Due to this, she is able to defeat Shinok. After Shinnok's defeat, the Revenants would leave, returning back to the Netherrealm. The special forces would arrive, and the Cage family would be reunited. Raiden would then purify the Jinsei by absorbing the dark energy into himself. Raiden is then next seen confronting the new rulers of the Netherrealm, Kitana and Liu Kang. He stated to the two that if there were any unprovoked attacks on his watch, he would come back for them, and he would kill them. To prove his point, he would throw the severed head of Shinok at their feet. He would then state that there are fates worse than death, and disappear, leaving Kitana and Liu Kang to look at each other, shocked. Anyway guys, I want to say thank you for everyone who supported this series. It has been great. This is the end of the Mortal Kombat series, but not the end of the history behind the Warrior series. As some of you do know, I'll be going on to different games. Next year, I'm going to be doing both Tekken and Street Fighter, so each week will have a different character from a different game. I will also be taking the next week or so off in order to learn the lore of both and get some time for myself. Anyway guys, as always, please comment, like, subscribe and share this video with everyone you love, and I will see you guys next year.